Hey patrons. So I'm sorry this video is a little bit late. This is the one for June, actually. My schedule got all kinds of screwed up from those Armored Skeptic videos. So this is an article that I wanted to make a video about shortly after it came out, and I just never got around to it. But it's such absolute gold that I cannot not use it for a video, so you guys get to enjoy it with me. It's from the National Catholic Register, and it's called Atheism is the Uncoolest Choice Ever, and I Can Prove It. 8 Reasons Christianity is Cooler Than Atheism. And it shows a man with a spaghetti strainer on his head. He must be a Pastafarian, and he's sticking out his tongue. Oh, what a lame ass. Who sticks out their tongue? I know everything about this guy that I need to know from that picture. I've read a number of stories about how atheism is seen as cool by many young people. Good job, Matthew Archibald. Hook him in from the first sentence. Don't just use the word cool, put it in quotes like it's some kind of bizarre novelty. Especially among college-age youths. Really? That's funny to me, because I couldn't think of anything less cool than becoming an atheist. So just in case any young people are reading, which they won't be because this is the National Catholic Register, the home of such incredibly cool stories as Convocation of Catholic Leaders, More Than a Physical Location, Sanctity in America, 2017, Canonization Causes Underway, Bishop Barron's Roadmap for the New Evangelization, Polish General Great American Revolutionary, Why Traditional Priestly Cassocks Are Making a Comeback. Exciting. Here are 8 reasons that atheism is the uncoolest choice ever. You know, you should have made this a top 10, because at least then it would have been cool in, 2010. But top 10s are lame as fuck now. You know what's even lamer than a top 10? Top 8. Number 8. Religious people live longer, happier lives, according to numerous scientific studies. Oh yeah. Living a long, happy life. That's totally what the kids find cool, man. No sex, drugs, and rock and roll. No live fast, die young. No YOLO. You know, that hasn't been the thing that people always were attracted to. That's not what these kids you're talking down to are going to identify as cool. Nope. Straight edge. Yep. Don't go out and get drunk with your friends, smoke a bunch of weed, listen to some rap music, and take their advice and fuck a bitch. No. Stay at home, raise your 8 children, eat a responsible amount of healthy food, and of course every Friday and Saturday evening, which you will of course spend at home with your family, enjoy half a glass of red wine because you heard that it helps your cardiac health, while you browse through the National Catholic Register for your wholesome news. Fucking badass. You know, somehow you don't seem to have realized that for this article, you can't just define cool as whatever things you like. The people you're talking to already have an idea of what's cool. If you're gonna prove that atheism is so uncool, you can't just take your old man boring bullshit and call that cool and expect kids to actually care. Whatever, moving on. I know you atheist types. Oh yeah, that's a real good way to rope them in, man. So right away it seems like you're not even trying to attract the atheist. You're gonna repulse them with this shit. This is boring Catholic entertainment. I know you atheist types are all about the science. Blech. Ugh. Science. Even though you pretty much get all your scientific information from HuffPo articles with clickbait headlines like "Watch Bill Nye completely own a creationist," or "How rolling your eyes is the greatest debate tactic against Christians." Yeah man, way to get a sympathetic ear. Rule of thumb, if the article you're reading contains exclamation points, it's probably not a respected scientific publication. Well, alright then. You're telling me what's scientifically true, so are you a respected scientific publication? Let's see. Atheism is the uncoolest choice ever, and I can prove it. No exclamation point. Wow! Maybe you actually are a respected scientific publication. At the very least, you appear to think you are, because there's no sources at all on here. But I guess because you're an atheist who will live a shorter life, maybe you don't have time to read actual scientific journals, like the National Catholic Register. I mean, something's gotta be cut out, right? Yeah, maybe that's why they're not wasting their time going to church every Sunday. I'm not sure this is a line of thinking you want to pursue. But on top of shorter lives, studies, which I've definitely read because I have a long Catholic life, so you can be assured that I've taken the time, indicate you'll be more miserable too. So while your life won't be longer, it might just feel that way. Yeah, kind of like if you're a responsible adult who pays your taxes and goes to work and watches the news in the evening and knows what's going on in the world, you're more miserable than someone who's currently high on heroin. Michelangelo and Bach, look him up, kids, were indisputably awesome Christian artists. Yeah, you know why you had to tell the kids to look him up? Is because they've been dead for like hundreds of years. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but we've kind of moved on. Yeah. But hey, atheists have the kid who plays Harry Potter. Do you really don't want to be... What? Do you really don't want to be part of any group that includes the actor formerly known as Harry Potter? He wasn't formerly known as Harry Potter. He played Harry Potter in some movies that are now over. What are you talking about? Or maybe you do, because that's how uncool you actually are. Who cares if some actor doesn't believe the same thing I don't believe? Who gives a shit? I mean, newsflash for you, I bet he doesn't believe in unicorns and Bigfoots either. That doesn't mean I'm in the Harry Potter actor fan club. And that's assuming he's even uncool. I don't know the guy. Never met him. Never even seen an interview or anything with him, I don't think. I have no idea. He could be the coolest guy on the planet. Judgmental bitch? Okay, so you think there's one dorky atheist. If one dork agreeing with you on something is enough to make whatever you agree on totally uncool, don't even get me started on Catholic dorks. And child molesters. I'm pretty sure child molesting isn't cool, but anyway, who the fuck are you, guy? If you're telling us all this, if you're throwing all this shade, you must be the coolest motherfucker on the planet, right? And I don't mean on grounds that are actually relevant and that actually make you cool, like your personality and shit. Because aside from the fact that you would definitely score worse if we went on that, judging by this article, you also pretty much just judge by appearance. Spoiler alert, we'll see that later in the video. Let's go up and take a look at your author profile here. Matthew Archibald, yeah, look at you, man. You're just the epitome of cool. Look at that. Oh, wow, yeah, you're like some fat middle-aged guy with a 5 o'clock shadow who's like really badly balding. You should probably honestly shave your head. But no, yeah, clearly. Well, yeah, you're the hippest, the most fly guy that there is. You're almost as cool as the Jesus Christ is my nigga guy.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you gotta do a rap to a hip-hop beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my nigga.
But unfortunately, he still got you beat, like really bad. 'Cause at least he was relevant with the youth at some point. Michelangelo was never photographed like that. Ever. Yeah, you know why that is? Is because he died centuries before the invention of the photo camera, which is probably why the kids don't give a flying fuck about him anymore. Like, was that seriously the most recent example of a cool Christian you could think of, really? 'Cause, that's not really a point in your favor. Typical atheist gathering, and we've got a nice assortment of people there. World Youth Day, and we've got some young ladies waving at the camera. See the difference? Well, yeah, I see you've cherry-picked a couple of pictures. I also see if you'd selected a different part of that World Youth Day picture, there in the background, you would have a slightly different picture. But dude, I mean, this is harsh. You don't know those atheists, you're just like randomly fat-shaming, age-shaming, I don't know what you're trying to do. They could be the coolest motherfuckers you ever met. But hey, if looks and age are all we're going on here, well, I refer you back to your author profile. Ugh, what a dork. I don't want to be part of any movement that includes a dork like that. Some dork on the internet told me it wasn't cool. Number 5. Most of your big-time mass killers of the 20th century were atheists. I'm talking Stalin, Mao, and Che, among others. Hey! No Hitler! That's, you know what, man? That's absolutely incredible. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Christian bring up mass killers and not mention Hitler. That's amazing. Probably because the people I've normally heard bring that up are Protestant, and this is the National Catholic Register, and it's probably a little closer to home for you, huh? Hey, by the way, you know who liked Michelangelo and Bach? Hitler. So I guess we all better deconvert then. And, as a matter of fact, considering that some asshole at some time has probably held every single opinion on the planet, we should probably just throw everything out and start all over again, right? Every single opinion that any person in the whole universe holds should be brand new, unsullied by any bad person in the past ever having held it. Yeah? You know, I mean, forget about whether they're actually true. All that really matters is that we don't have guilt by association, right? The only thing that's relevant to whether some opinion is cool or not is whether someone can fallaciously point to some bad dude who held that opinion. That's it. Yeah? Okay. So, bye-bye. I assume you'll be deleting your website soon. Once you do that, I'll delete my YouTube channel. Cool. Number 4. This is an extreme Christian. Okay, some old bitch who set up some hospitals for people to die in substandard conditions. You know, letting people suffer for God and all that. This is an extreme atheist. Okay, so a man who forcefully argues for the truth against the mass killer lovers and total dorks who belong to your religion, if we go by your logic. Pretty cool. See the difference? Yeah, I do. At least he doesn't have to hurt anyone to feel better about his opinions. 3. As a Christian, my wife looks at me like I'm a gift from God. Seriously, to her that's what I am. Your atheist girlfriend, should you ever get one after you move out of your stepdad's basement. Holy shit, man. Yeah, you're really appealing to the youth with all these baseless insults. We'll see you as a gel-haired accident in skinny jeans. Hey, better gel hair than no hair. On a lonely rock orbiting a meaningless sun in a mistake of the universe. See the difference? It's kind of a big one. Yeah, atheists enjoy their life and get on with happiness and love while you dwell on stupid shit like whether your woman sees you as being at the center of a tiny, pathetic little universe so you feel important. Which I gotta say is really creepy and also kind of desperate and sad. I mean, what, are you so unlovable that you need a god to tell your wife to be in love with you? And also, since you can use birth control, your atheist girlfriend will probably really love ripping off your skinny jeans and fucking your brains out. 'Cause, then she won't be risking another baby inside of her every goddamn time. 2. Many of your college professors agree with your atheist beliefs. How's that for the uncoolest choice ever? Dude, this isn't high school, they're in fucking college. You're talking to college kids. They're past the "fuck you teacher, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do my homework" phase. Now they're here to actually learn and gain education so that they can go out into the world and be successful. This rebellious bullshit, I mean, you can just tell your college professor to get fucked. You can call them by their first name, you can skip classes and they can't really do anything. I mean, my point is, when you're in high school, there are all these rules and all this kind of stuff, and you don't want to be there necessarily. You're a teenager, you're deep in puberty, and you kind of have to go. But in college, you're there because you want to be there, and you have the freedom to do shit that you want to do. You can do things how you want to do them. It's college. The rebellious teenager thing just isn't important or cool anymore, generally. You're dealing with adults at that point. I think you're kind of missing the point of the whole, rebellious school kid thing here. Hey, look at you siding with all the gray-haired, tweedy authoritarian types at your school. Note, if your best friend at college is the diversity awareness coordinator, you're colleging wrong. Take it from this gray-haired, tweedy authoritarian type. I know what's cool. Kids. Yeah, and what's cool is going to a Catholic college where the professors are older and more gray-haired and more tweedy and more authoritarian, and not only do they teach you things that are relevant to your education, but they also insist that you have to believe in God and pray and everything. Because they're hip and cool. And if you think your professors are cool, I think they call that being a brown-noser. No. They call that having cool professors. What the fuck are you talking about? Again, dude, you're talking about college. You're talking about fucking college, not high school. College. College. Do you know the difference? And brown-nosers are even less cool than gender studies majors. Well, I will agree gender studies majors aren't that cool. But unfortunately, a lot of the people you'll be trying to reel in with this article probably are gender studies majors. Not quite sure about your tactics there, Mr. Archibald. You know when the whole 60s thing happened, young people would say not to trust anyone over 40? Ah, okay, yeah, you don't look a day over 25. And yeah, that's really going to appeal to the kids in 2017, man, using a 50-year-old reference point for what's cool. But now you guys go off to college wanting nothing more than to adopt the beliefs of your boring old professors. I'm pretty sure they want to actually get an education and get a job. Except the gender studies majors. As far as adopting the beliefs of your boring old professors, when you're going to college, say you go into physics, right? You go into a physics education program and, you learn your professor's beliefs about physics because they're experts in physics. That's what college is for. I mean, why did you go to college? I know you did. It says in your bio. Did you go there to go, I don't like you. You're old. I don't want to believe like you do. No, I'm pretty sure you went there to be like, teach me, sir. You have experience in education. I really want to know what's in your head. So I really don't get this thing of your belief systems should revolve around what your professors believe. You should take whatever based on a statistical analysis of professors in America your professors are most likely to believe and then believe the opposite of that. Why is that more cool? I don't know. It seems like a pretty ridiculous and stupid way to build a belief system. I don't think anybody's going to do that just to try to be cool. And there's nothing uncool about believing things or not believing things just because your professors also happen to believe those things. I mean, you're an adult, they're an adult. Every adult is going to have their own opinions. If their opinions happen to match your opinions, so fucking what? Really? What are you talking about? You're a very strange man. What could be less cool than wanting to be like your teacher? Yeah, your old, gray-haired, balding, lecturing, authoritarian teacher. What could be less cool than wanting to be like him? Except if your teacher is Tony Isolin, then it's okay. Who the fuck is Tony Isolin? Oh, some gray-haired, tweedy authoritarian type. He looks exciting. Yeah, look at that. Anthony M. Isolin is a writer, social commentator, translator of classical poetry, and professor of English Renaissance and classical literature. Yeah, totally up to date with what's hip with the kids. Ugh. 1. Atheists have less children, and that probably means... Well, you probably know what that means since you're all about science. Yeah, it means we're probably more likely to use birth control than Catholics are, and then get banged a lot, which is kind of cool. I mean, I don't really give a fuck what you say. I've done it. It's pretty cool. Just saying. Once again, to sum up, you'll be miserable? Okay, I have to write my article on why atheism is uncool. Let's see here. What can I put in here? I think that what they mean is things that statistically speaking have some correlation with happiness. That's what they mean by cool, right? Have a shorter life. By the way, you better go on a diet there, Professor Archibald. And I don't mean the prayer diet. Cut out a burger every day. And quite likely less sex than your religious counterparts. Well, let's see here. You and your wife have 5 kids. I suspect you got married pretty young, considering you're Catholic, and you're probably not divorced either. That's probably your first wife. So let's see. All the sex you've ever had has been unprotected, and it was enough to produce 5 kids over, what do you want to say, 20 years? Yeah, you're a real Casanova. And you thought atheism was cool? Actually, no. I mean, you started with that assumption, but actually no. I don't think it's uncool either. I'm just totally neutral on it because cool isn't relevant when talking about atheism. It's just probably true. I've never even thought about whether it's cool or not. It just is. I mean, let's be real, you Catholic dudes are pretty dorky, but that doesn't mean atheist people are cool, okay? And the weird thing is, like, I hang out pretty much exclusively with atheists. Almost everybody I know is an atheist. I've been making atheist videos and talking to atheists on the regular for years. I know my experience isn't universal, but, I mean, I've talked to a lot of fucking people. You would think if this was a common thing, I would have heard at least someone saying it at some point, right? And I haven't heard a single person say, hey, atheism is so cool, man. Isn't atheism cool? I've definitely heard people say Christianity is uncool, or cringe, counter-cool, not just neutral, but the opposite of cool. But as far as atheism itself being positively cool, is that even a thing people think? I mean, you said you've read a number of stories about how atheism is considered cool, but what are you talking about exactly? Have you read stories in the National Catholic Register? Are you sure they weren't just misinterpreting people thinking Christianity is uncool as being people thinking atheism is cool? I don't know. So I don't even know who you're talking to with this article, but, I mean, I guess people who think trying to be right is cool, you know? You could tell them, hey, stop trying to believe things that are true or likely true. That's uncool. I'm dictating to you, from my position as a gray-haired, tweedy authoritarian, that you kids on my lawn are supposed to find that uncool. You're supposed to believe the stuff I tell you because I'm the coolest. Look at me.
Look at me.
I mean, if that doesn't convince you, maybe I'll try putting on a backwards hat, some parachute pants, and maybe a denim jacket, you know? I'll buy a longboard, yeah? Would you think Christianity was cool if I learned the longboard? I heard the kids like the longboard. So I'm just gonna go and read a book of classical poetry next to my wife and not have sex with her because we already have 5 kids. And at the moment, I can't afford another one, since I no longer have a proper job, given that I left the newspaper business to raise my children, and now I write for the National Catholic Register, so I probably won't jizz for another 6 years, except in my sleep. And then at 8 o'clock, I'm going to say some Hail Marys, say my prayers, and go to bed. Because I'm way cooler than you, and because I'm happier than you are. So... reconsider and repent, ye fools. Ye uncool fools. Jesus Christ is my nigga, and he is the way, the truth, and the life. Left unsaid is that he's totally cooler than Richard Dawkins, because even though Jesus is all about telling you how to live every tiny aspect of your miserable ascetic life, and Richard Dawkins doesn't, he's still totally cooler. Well, to be fair, he does have rock star hair. Yeah, I don't even know what that article was. What did that guy think he was going to accomplish? I have no idea. Whatever. I am working on more videos. I'm going away for a couple of weeks in August, most likely, so I'm going to have to do a bunch of videos this month, so the videos will be slightly smaller. I'll try to keep them around 20 minutes if I can, each. No gigantic, heavy research projects, anything like that this month, because I kind of got to produce double the videos this month. Well, alright, you skinny jeans wearing, gel haired, mass killer loving dorks. I'll see you around.